What if I told you that one machine invented over 500 years ago kickstarted the internet, the rise of modern science, mass education, and even social media? A machine so powerful that it toppled empires and spread ideas faster than any influencer today. This is the story of the printing press and how it changed everything. If you love history, tech, and world-changing ideas, hit that like button because today we're diving into the world's first information revolution. Imagine a world with no bookstores, no libraries as we know them, and barely any books. Before the mid-1400s, this was reality. Every single manuscript had to be painstakingly copied by hand, one page at a time, by a dedicated scribe. Think about the time it would take, days, weeks, even years for a single copy of a book. This meant books were incredibly rare, unbelievably expensive, and almost exclusively owned by the church or the super wealthy. Knowledge wasn't just limited, it was locked away. For the average person, new ideas, scientific discoveries, or even different interpretations of scripture were completely out of reach. Information didn't spread, it crawled. The world was starved for knowledge. Until one man decided to change the rules of the game. Enter Johannes Gutenberg, a metalworker, an entrepreneur from Mainz, Germany. Gutenberg wasn't just a brilliant inventor. He was a master of combining existing technologies in a completely new way. Around the 1440s, he brought together three key ideas. First, movable type. He created individual letters out of a durable metal alloy that could be arranged and rearranged to form words and sentences. Second, he developed a new kind of oil-based ink that was thicker than the watery inks used by scribes, so it would stick to the metal type perfectly. And third, he adapted the design of a screw press, the kind used for making wine and olive oil, to apply firm, even pressure to transfer the ink from the type onto paper. Put them all together, and suddenly, you had a machine that could produce books hundreds, even thousands of times faster than hand copying. This wasn't just an improvement, it was a complete disruption. The world got its first taste of this new power in 1455 with the publication of the first major book printed using movable type, the Gutenberg Bible. This wasn't just any book, it was a masterpiece of craftsmanship with elegant fonts and precise layouts that rivaled the best handwritten manuscripts. But its real power wasn't just its beauty, it was its reproducibility. For the very first time in history, hundreds of identical copies of a complex text could be produced and distributed across Europe. When scholars, nobles, and church leaders saw these perfect, mass-produced Bibles, they realized instantly, this was the future of communication. And the future arrived faster than anyone could have imagined. After Gutenberg's success, printing presses spread like wildfire across Europe. Within a few decades, printing shops had opened in hundreds of cities, from Venice to London to Paris. The consequences were staggering. The cost of books plummeted, making them affordable for a growing middle class of merchants and artisans. With more books available, literacy rates, which had been abysmally low for centuries, began to skyrocket. Suddenly, people outside the elite circles of the clergy and aristocracy gained access to a world of knowledge from ancient Greek philosophy to the latest scientific theories. Ideas now traveled faster than ever before, jumping across borders and igniting conversations in every corner of the continent. It was the world's first information explosion, and it was reshaping society from the ground up. The printing press didn't just make books, it made revolutions. The Renaissance, which was already underway in Italy, was supercharged as printed copies of classical art, literature, and architectural designs spread across Europe, inspiring a new generation of creators. The Protestant Reformation, perhaps the most direct consequence, was powered by print. Martin Luther's 95 Theses and his other writings went viral, 16th century style. They were printed, reprinted, and distributed by the thousands, allowing his message to bypass the control of the church and reach the common people directly. The scientific revolution accelerated dramatically, as scientists like Copernicus, Galileo, and Newton could now share their findings quickly and accurately with a wide audience, building upon each other's work at an unprecedented pace. And the rise of modern education became possible as schools and universities finally had access to standardized, mass-produced textbooks. If human progress has a booster rocket, the printing press was its main engine. So let's step back and think about what this machine really did. It created a system that decentralized knowledge, taking it out of the hands of a small, powerful elite and distributing it to the masses. It connected millions of people who had never met, allowing them to share and debate ideas across vast distances. It empowered anyone with a brilliant thought and access to a press to reach the world. Sound familiar? Yep, Gutenberg basically built the 1400s version of the Internet. The network was made of paper and ink instead of fiber optics and code, but the principle was the same. We're just living in the upgraded, digital version of the world he helped create. So the next time you scroll through your feed, swipe on an article, search for information, or stream a video, take a moment to remember the invention that laid the groundwork for it all. One press, a handful of metal letters, and a revolution that never stopped. If you enjoyed this breakdown of world-changing tech, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. And drop a comment below. What invention or historical turning point do you think I should cover next? Thanks for watching and, as always, keep exploring.